Our first source of protection is Al-Quran Al-Kareem. Every Friday recite the entire Surah Al-Kahf, chapter number 18 of Al-Quran Al-Kareem. If you are unable to recite Surah Al-Kahf, then recite the first 10 verses and the last 10 verses. If you are unable to recite the last 10 verses, then just recite the first 10 verses of Surah Al-Kahf. Additional to this, have a wird, a litany that you recite from Al-Quran Al-Kareem every day, like Surah Yasin, Surah Al-Mulk, Surah Al-Waqi'ah. So attaching ourselves to Al-Quran Al-Kareem, increasing our memorization of Al-Quran Al-Kareem. Secondly is knowledge. Increasing our knowledge of Quran and Sunnah. Meaning, not to be like the ignorant followers of the Shaykh who talk about the end of times and they have no knowledge themselves, they rely solely on the Shaykh. Read up on subjects like I mentioned, reading of Al-Isha' Al-Ashrat As-Sa'a of Barzanji. This is essential reading. Or Al-Usas Wal-Muntaliqat of Shaykh Abu Bakr Al-Mashhur. These are essential readings. Books like Iqd Durar, Fi Akhbar Al-Muntazar. Increasing our knowledge of Quran and Sunnah. Min Al-Quran Al-Kareem and the ahadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Thirdly, increasing our ibadah. Because the hadith states regarding times of fitan tribulation, that when tribulation occurs, al-ibadah, acts of worship in the time of tribulation, is like migrating to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So increasing our worship, meaning praying 5 times a day, attempting to pray our salawat, our prayers in the masjid, especially the Fajr prayer. And then increasing our nawafil, like tahajjud, qiyamul layl, awwabin. When the sunrise happens, praying salah, which is known as salatul duha. Awwabin is after maghrib prayer. Increasing our worship and avoiding sins. The fourth is investing your wealth, your cash, in gold and land. 2 things. If you have savings, you should be buying gold and land. 2 things. You will thank me for this advice in years to come. Rather than saving cash, except for the cash that you need at the moment, if you have large amounts of cash, buy gold with that cash and land. These are 2 good investments. For instance, in Wales, you can buy 2 acres of land for £40,000. 2 acres of land in Wales is better than having £40,000 in the bank. Because you can utilize that as a farm. You can utilize that as a place to build a house. Land will always increase in price and never decrease. Remember, most wars are for land. Then they are for water and gold. So, and buy blocks of gold. But in this country, you are taxed for gold. So how you bypass that is buy the gold sovereigns as collector's items. They are still solid gold, but you will bypass the tax laws. So invest in gold and land. Of course, many of you are becoming happy that I'm giving material advice. Take the spiritual advice also. The 5th is a water source. Always be near a water source, that if the water is cut off, you are near a water source. In Yorkshire, you will not have that problem. Yes, you will have wells. But identify those wells, identify the rivers, identify a watering source, sanitation. Do not follow the way of people in India, Bangladesh and Pakistan, where the people have no common sense of sanitizing water. So many people excrete in water and then they suffer from cholera in those countries. And then you have a mosquito problem because they have no sewage system. And then mosquitoes spread diseases like malaria, and people die from those things because of lack of sanitization. This is something the Khan government should be working on first. Sanitizing water. If you want a Medina society, fix the watering system and the sewage system. If you want a Medina society, replace the paper money with gold and silver. If you want a Medina society, finish taxes and collect zakat. Finish taxes and collect jizya. Finish taxes and collect kharaj. Finish taxes and collect ushar. Finish taxes and reintroduce the Islamic economic system. This is the only way of reestablishing the Medina system.